Hey everyone, welcome to the Writer's Room, my series of talks that dig into brainstorming a story's or even a franchise's potential issues that studios really do need to think about before going into production. Today's talk is about machines and The Matrix, one of my all-time favorite films. It's a series that has potentially reached a tipping point, with the later films starting to feel just a little less inventive and a little more repetitive. Plus, Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Ann Moss, and Laurence Fishburne, they are all getting older, and they may not want to return to these roles unless the story is something new and different. The original Matrix film is groundbreaking. It's an incredible blend of storytelling and iconic characters, groundbreaking concepts, and revolutionary technology. It opened our minds by redefining reality in a tangible and relatable way, as well as exposing us to a new kind of agile, sentient AI and a terrifying potential future for humanity. While the follow-up films hold up pretty well. The first film, it's a cultural landmark. But let's face it, the machines in the Matrix will actually never beat the humans for one very simple reason. And I'm going to take you through what my version of the writer's room is so that we can break it down and build it out. Before we get into why the machines will always fall short, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more, because there are definitely more discussions coming and I would love to have you there. Plus, YouTube is a machine and it is a beast. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right. So in the Matrix universe, the premise is straightforward. Far in the future, machines have taken over, driving the remaining free humans underground into low-tech, kind of high-tech hybrid worlds that are hidden from their reach. Above ground, the machines use human bodies as energy farms to power their systems. The setup is solid, it's logical and engaging, but it also reveals why the machines can never truly win, at least if the franchise continues down its current path with any future films. Here is the thing. The machines, as depicted in the Matrix series, lack the ability to really think outside the box. Despite being agile, advanced AI, they still operate within rigid parameters. Their agents, programs, and systems are all designed to maintain the status quo, keeping humanity in a controlled, familiar form. Yet humans, like Neo, inevitably wake up. They break free from the illusion of the Matrix, find themselves in those eerie incubation tubes, and then trigger the automatic process where they're discarded as waste. They're then hopefully rescued by the underground humans and reintegrated into the real world. And that's the problem. The machine's inability to anticipate or adapt to this reoccurring issue highlights their ultimate weakness. The law of averages dictates that more Neos will emerge, and yet the machines fail to account for this inevitability. They are bound by their code, and they can't imagine how to not only keep the humans in place, but to make them want to help maintain the status quo. So let's pretend that we're in this writer's room for the studio. If the studio wants to continue this franchise, they need a story that just pushes the machines to win, which means they need to fundamentally rethink their approach, evolving beyond their current design, instead of just suppressing humanity's desire to wake up. They need to create a reality within the matrix that is better than real life, which means the matrix would need to be so appealing that no one would ever want to leave, or they should make the real world so psychologically horrifying that once they experience it, they would actively want to return to the matrix and stay forever. Essentially, they could change human reality by using genetic engineering to fundamentally change the human body into something that either couldn't live outside of the pod or make the human form so horrific that existing in a body would be the nightmare and the matrix would become the mental and emotional safety place. Think about it. Why would the incubated humans need limbs, hair, or even traditional body parts, or even skin as we know it, if they can live in amniotic fluid? The machines could strip humanity down to its core, bare essentials for survival in a physical world like that incubation pod and give us our normal bodies inside the matrix. The disparity between the digital and the physical world would be so wide that people wouldn't be able to bear their physical bodies. Within the matrix, they could simulate the sensation of limbs and movement and normalcy. But outside, those same humans would find themselves helpless, physically unable to survive, and mentally repulsed by their own bodies. If I were the writers in that writer's room for the next Matrix, I'd push for something bold and different. We've already explored Neo's story and the uneasy truce between humans and machines. So, what's next? Maybe the machines create these partitioned realities, testing how humans adapt to different worlds, forms, and rules. And that existence would then become normal to them because that's all they would know. They wouldn't know what humanity was like if they were never taught about human bodies or human history or human existence where they believed themselves to be, I don't know, some kind of spider being or other creature, only to find themselves trapped inside a trimmed down human body, it would be so jarring, so repellent that they'd absolutely return to their dreamlike state. They might even reject the real world completely as the fantasy world. Imagine a scenario where some humans, fully immersed in these new matrix worlds, choose actively choose to side with the machines to protect it. They might even fight against the underground humans, believing their new existence is superior. This dynamic could open fascinating conflicts and stories that focus on choice, identity, and what it means to be human. Ultimately, if the machines need humans as much as humans need the Matrix, the story could evolve into exploring how these two sides find a way to coexist in the world, not as adversaries, but as partners. Perhaps an alliance transforms humanity and the machines into something entirely new, blending the physical and the digital worlds together in ways we've never seen before. There's so much they could explore. Without taking a big creative leap, I think the Matrix franchise will either die out or the future films will just risk becoming repetitive, following the same arcs, the same storylines, familiar limitations, and ultimately falling short again and again and again of the original film's brilliance and the very thing that made this franchise so interesting. They have to find a way to kind of catapult themselves out of this trap. And this is a place where a lot of franchises are getting stuck right now because they've kind of plumbed so much of the story and they're starting to get repetitive and that's boring. If Warner Brothers and Village Roadshow really want to keep the franchise alive, and I don't know if they do, but if they do, they not only have to make those machines evolve, but the writers need to toss the red pill and the blue pill dichotomy out and go with a green pill that just breaks the mold because that is how technology evolves. And they have to go with the natural evolution of the world. I guess we'll see how it goes in the future, but without change, the machines will just never beat the humans in the Matrix. And I'm not necessarily saying that I want them to beat the humans in the Matrix, but it has to be a compelling story, and you have to make that battle feel real. Like there's something real that could be lost, something real that could be gained, and it has to create a new paradigm that kind of evolves with the machines. And they do really need to grow beyond the state that they're in right now. Our ability to out imagine, out adapt, and out evolve them is unmatched. And the series should reflect that. And if it doesn't, it needs to think about why they don't want to reflect that. So, what do you think? Am I completely mad here? Have I gone off the rails? Have I jumped the shark? Definitely want to know. I find it really fun to talk about these kinds of things, brainstorming, writers' rooms, things like that. So let me know what you think. Is there another solution for the machines to make the next film, should they create one, more compelling? Let's treat the chat as a writer's room. Let me know what you're thinking. What would you like to say? What would you like to see them keep or change? What would you like the next films to do? And do you want to keep the same characters? Let me know in the comments, and I want to hear your ideas. Thanks so much, everybody. While you're here, be sure to give this video a thumbs up because there's definitely more, and subscribe for the next set of reviews that are coming out. Thanks so much. And while you're here, why not watch this next review? Thanks so much, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.